They sexually molested me, gendarmes, female gendarmes. To be sexually molested by female gendarmes and survive. For gendarmes to play with your private, to take your penis and take it like a game. Like they were playing Ludo and survive. It is too much.
Female gendarme, not the gendarme than that. Jesus. Even me, I want the molestation. Me, I want the torture now. The next time I come Cameroon, I will just go find some female gendarme, conky for head. Tell it, say, make it arrest me. And make it give me the same molestation where Ebenezer Akwanga be experienced. Female gendarmes. Jesus. Now the make I want to be arrested. If now so did they arrest all man, they give them molestation, then I want to be arrested like how Mark Barretta be talk and say what he.
Listen, I thought I was kidnapped, but once I saw, say, please, kidnap me more. Kidnap me more.
Yes, kidnap me more. Una kidnap me more. I know sir, they talk, I they laugh and I they jest. But these things are very serious. This idiot where they talk, Ebenezer Akwanga, he don't know the torture where he armed terrorists, the way they don't unleash them onto the Anglophone community. He don't know which way the Anglophone civilian population they go through. Just one, Madame Ayafo Florence. I don't think say this idiot, he don't ever can talk about which way they do for Madame Ayafo Florence. I don't recall. Say he don't ever can mention them. He talks say female gendarme they play with it. That one I he own where he want to talk about. What about the terrorists they will unleash them onto the Anglophone community and they behead human beings them? Where to be even sexual molestation compared to the torture, the molestation, and then murder, and then beheading. Even in this broadcast, we come off a talk. It talks say the so-called mountain lions, not them kill ye so-called General Opopo. When Amba versus Amba. But that is not a problem. And at the same kind, warped thinking this way, what people they get them, where they be so disingenuous. Person go complain, say gendarme collected 500 for road. And then time where Amba terrorist, a kidnapped person collect 1 million, it should not be quiet.
But we have people who have gone there and come back and tell us good stories. Listen, I thought I was kidnapped, but once I saw, say, please, kidnap me more. Kidnap me more. So this is the white man word. White man come with language, kidnapping. Kidnapping. It's that you do wrong and we arrest you, you say we kidnap. No! The arrest! We are not arresting you temporarily. Temporarily arrest. Then we leave you. So we understand the kind of kidnapping is very negative. You know, our enablers use the word kidnapping. It's not kidnapping. They arrest you temporarily to beg you for money that people need to feed because they need to survive. They need to survive. Taking them to so that they can give money. I can't call it kidnapping. Just taking them. Please come and give money so that they survive. We have people that have been taken. They go to an Amba camp. They can say, hey, they come and say, Mommy, I saw these boys in their camp, what they eat, how they live. Listen, we've had successful stories of people who claim that they have been kidnapped. When they went to an Amba camp, they came back, they changed because they saw the condition in which these fighters were living. They saw the food that they were eating. Fight and live for chop. You did not chop, you don't feel run. You don't chop, you egg on the tonsil. You don't chop, you don't feel fight. Listen, I'm a realist. I believe in reality. That's why I always give my opinion. Point, I believe in reality.
the Sheikh Avi Womeleng, the Benedictwa. These are them in Lebialem recruiting youth in 2016, 2015, 14 and 15 for 9 months, staying with them in the forest to train them so that they can be able to have the weapons and the tool and the leadership to fight, just like you said, defense, so that Ambazonia can have the chance to be respected in the international community. These are them training youths there with empty hand. And at that time, it was people like you who were calling them Changshu boys. This is the ADF on the ground.
My country people them, make una pay attention to the year where he call them. Said they be train Amba terrorists them for Bush. 2014, 2015. It means say 2014. Una pay attention to those years, and then we will talk after.
Dr. Cho Ayaba is somebody who took over the Cameroon embassy in Germany and was willing to go to jail because of our freedom. He has the tenacity, he inspires our youth, and at a time when people did not even accept self-defense, these are the people he had attracted. The Sheikh Avi Womeleng, the Benedictwa, these are them in Lebialem recruiting youth in 2016, 2015, 14 and 15 for 9 months, staying with them in the forest to train them so that they can be able to have the weapons and the tool and the leadership to fight, just like you said, defense, so that Ambazonia can have the chance to be respected in the international community. These are them training youths there with empty hand. And at that time, it was people like you who were calling them Changshu boys. This is the ADF on the ground, training people on the ground. This is the Ambazonian Governing Council on the ground. These are fighters on the ground. Let me bring some other videos for our people to see, because least they forget what has gone on. These are the youths that formed the pioneer in our liberation.
One for one, one for all. No retreat. No.
These are the Somali. These are the people who brought down CDC.
All for one, one for all. All for one,
one for all.
Yes, I did also for Lebialem for my land, and I did for here. I be the commander for this group. I did so me as a stand for here. I know say I come on Nigeria. I be go Nigeria for this struggle. I don't go come back. I think about my village. So I come now say, now I come meet up my own brother, fellow brother them for village. So that if we join a group, and this group then I put under Ayaba a group.
Very dull set of human being there, but that terrorist gang. Must I do that in the sweet man? The pressure.
So this is the boys that the Ambazonian Defense Forces recruited, sent to Nigeria to fortify themselves traditionally and to get weapons and come back and fight for our freedom. Dr. Cho Ayaba that you are saying is a group, is a father of self-defense. He inspired our youths. He gave us General Ivo. He gave our youth the courage to pick up guns. He trains them. He did not just send people to go down there, recruit and train these boys, but he himself go down to ground zero in Ambazonia to launch self-defense. This is him on the ground with men he has trained, giving them a code of conduct, a weapons and an ideology to free our country and give us a chance to be free. This is Dr. Cho Ayaba in Ambazonia with the ADF. When there was no group that was organized or that carried gun, he brought us the flag, he brought us defense group with a command and control structure, and did not launch the defense from the diaspora, but went there on the ground after 1 year of training and preparing these boys who have formed the pioneer in ground zero. Even Grandpa Bali was one of these pioneers. General Kata, who created 7 Kata. So this is the ADF. They want to tell you it's not fighting against the Republic. And when they came, let me bring you another picture. When they came to ground zero, they did not just fight by themselves, but they went from camp to camp, providing weapons, This is general in Pinyin, the forces in Pinyin. The first weapons that were provided to them from the ADF. These are testimonials.
Yeah,
this is General Koro.
Now we will begin with the top. We will make this video that because we will there for midday water and we will not no side will follow. And now we don't make our decision. We'll be there for opinion, so we'll not get no big man. We will fit talk in our parties. But now we will get for make our decision. But now we don't make our decision. Say we are par. Now general big number. We are ADF. We will be picking for power. Power will give me nothing. They defy this struggle now.
So from the beginning up to now, man, Dr. Chuayaba have been fighting for self-defense, training and equipping soldiers with the ideology and inspiring them and giving them weapons. He is the reasons why we are here today. These are forces in Goza.
We get problem for Gram Zero here. I mean this, but for Goza. We get problem for here. General Commander local sees all my weapons them about 20 something promotion. We are sitting the way we get her now. Now I mean they did the church for Camp Goza any day. They the church for Camp. Now just say that the fear I like they for not enter. They know it's I don't do them. They for not enter. We are not try to solve the matter. Make a minute you arrive for them. When I talk say, I talk say I need work for AGF General Commando. Me na be my general for waiting. Now somebody face me bullet. No me na somebody face some man bullet for Gram Zero here. No be they need pay no man for Gram Zero here. We don't decide for fight for una. Muna not take a like say they say don't turn and slave them.
So these are the youths that were recruited by the ADF, armed by the ADF. When the people like Amba and those who champions the IG, they came into the whole self-defense. They start paying boys to denounce the ADF, buying ADF soldiers here and there. And Boss Dimaya was assassinated and many other generals like him. Some ADF camps had to even change their name, like the Black Shoes in Oko.
So na Capo Daniel that they talk, his real name Nandong Emmanuel Ngong, he been a so-called defense chief for ADF. Now the people then this way they radicalize people, they are picking them, send them for bush, may they go die. If na me I be the talk una for say na because I be black leg, but now when not them be talk. This one now since 2022, time where Capo Daniel be still come up fine with Ayabacho Lucas, ye gang. Today, they've been a Pussy and Arata, na enemies them. But back then, for 2022, 2 years ago, they've still been our best friends them. As now here, I see the defend Ayabacho. So Ebi put out this one a video, evidence of the beginning of the day for Bush to the train. So when I be talks today, so Pobia declare war for 2017. When I come on calm, when I can't listen and cry. When I be tell when I say this Anglophone terrorism, knowing that thing of yesterday, as not always can they lie. And one of the problems is where me I get them with the politicians them. The political expediency where they want to use any and all opportunities them for get political advantage. Like when we see how SDF be rise on communicate a few years ago, talk about how president be declare war. You know if it tell me, say Ni John Frundi where be signed on that document, ain't nobody know the truth. They know the truth. And all of these lawyers and teachers, the way they come out 2017, said they strike. They knew exactly what they were doing. And I understand many of them, they don't be one separatism. But all of them, they be one for benefit from the agitation where they cause them. Now just say they get the opposite, it happened for them, it backfire on them. Because they be one a political expediency, they be one for agitate, they want for light fire, cause make place shake some way so that President Probia can't give them political concessions. That was their calculations. They miscalculate and they misfire. Because the radical wing within the Anglophone agitation, they were waiting for this kind of opportunity for spark. And they were already preparing for it. So when the so-called peaceful strikes the way they happened for 2017, they were never peaceful. They were not peaceful. It was deliberate to antagonize the Cameroon military to react in a certain way. They be kill people them. Now which day they happened, they be started train these poorly educated Anglophone youth them in the bushes them for Dadi and other places them, especially for Manu, since 2014. And for una way una no understand, I go tell una more. When I get the time, I go put them down in publications. The way I go write and I go produce audios and videos and for educate una. Anglophone terrorism for Cameroon, it no start now for 2014. It be start now since the 1990s. From the inception, the creation of SCNC in the early 90s, 1993, if I'm not mistaken, it had been for one purpose: separatism, for separate Cameroon. Since the early 90s, and by 1997, they will get the SCYL, the Southern Cameroon's Youth League, where their president is being Ebenezer Akwanga and their secretary general is being Ayabacho Lucas. For 1997, they bomb police, gendarme, brigade for Bui, for Momo, and for Mezam. I go write all of those things, them give una all the information. They born Ebenezer Akwanga now for November 1970. For 1997, it carry out terrorist atrocities them. Make una understand this reality. They arrest you, they lock you up, they try you, they sentence you to 20 years in prison. I will provide all of that documentation for una, all of that evidence, all of that. I did talk to people the way they be in positions of power back then, where they be being the active people, the way they be deal with that terrorist attacks in 1997. I did talk to them, forget these historical realities and these facts and this truth, them, we will write them, publish and make una understand. Anglophone terrorism for Cameroon it no be start now yesterday. For people the way they work, I talk the lies. I say Paul Biya be declared war for 2017. May they can't explain for we what will be happen 20 years before that. For 1997. Now Paul Biya be declared war for Ayabacho and Ebenezer Akwanga. Time where they go bomb gendarme, they go thief explosives then for this company where be the bill roads for Jakiri, or now what they call that hill for Wainama Hill, if I'm not mistaken. They carry, I go write all of these things in because they record this audio now where I don't get no notes. But when I shut on down all of that information, I get them, I go publish them for that expose, for that presentation where I go bring them for now when the time is right. I still do my investigation, I still gather some information, I go publish all of that information for una, make una understand the lies where Anglophones they don't tell we. The lawyers and teachers they go on the streets they strike, knowing fully well, said they were sitting on a keg of powder. A day like person where she don't on top basket where get gunpowder inside and then they light cigar, it is smoke them. It means that person be suicidal. That's exactly what the Anglophone lawyers and teachers were doing because they know about the SCNC, the SCYL, the terrorist attacks them in the 90s. They know. Say they get this Bamenda declaration, this Boya declaration, and all of these things, the way the SCNC they do them, many of those things then they were public, they were not hidden. So you get people that like John Go Foncha, you get people that like Pa Estimuna, you get people that like Ni John Frundi, you get all those lawyers, all those people, every single Anglophone Cameroonian way they more than the age of 45 today knows about what we are to talk about because they lived through it. Except for the people the way they don't come out of the country or where they may be too young at that time for be involved or for understand what may be to go on. Every single Anglophone Cameroonian where it be above the age of 45 years old, he know what way me at the talk. If this information what the give for now today it be new, now because maybe you know be to pay attention, or maybe you be grow out of the country, or maybe you be there you out of that area, maybe you be there for Francophone zone when these things they will transpire. When the SDF political party the whole rallies them. Even today they would tell when I say SDF was created as a separatist means, as a step towards separating Cameroon. They would tell when
even with my involvement with all these people, Chief Amba, Ngalafo, even Frundi himself, and I want to put the record straight, and I've said it several times, we never created the SDF for the purpose of integration in French Cameroon. It was a Southern Cameroon's issue. And I'll tell you now, the debate at that time between two camps or three. One was saying, oh, we should just integrate there. And we said, why should we integrate? The other camp would say we should go to the bush and fight this whole thing. But couldn't because at that time, it's just like now, it's really uncanny. We were never prepared, there was no army, there was really nothing. The difference though, is that at that time for the founding of the SDF, people are not being sufficiently conscientized. The awareness, most of you here, you were, perhaps at that time you were not, the level of awareness which you have now wasn't there at that time. So even if we started a fight there, we wouldn't have gone anywhere. But this is the right moment. Like they say, God's time is always the best. So it created this moment. So when that spark came in 2016, it didn't take a long time for the thing to catch fire as it went. But again, you saw that even in 2016, the lawyers civil society were asking, teachers.
So you get people the way they talk saying that them even create SDF, no be Niger Frundi. The whole point of SDF as a political party was a step towards separating Cameroon. That's their agenda. It is clear. Make una understand that. Now just say people that like Niger Frundi, they will get proper democratic ideologies, the way they will believe. Say they fit change the system within Cameroon and change Cameroon for make Cameroon a better country. In the 90s, after the presidential election, you get people the way they will beg Nijona Begam, say make he declare himself president so that may they go to war. They be begging a Begam. 89. And one of the greatest things that I go forever praise that power for. Despite all our other small differences, them, of course, no person not be infallible. All human beings they feel make mistakes, and all human beings they get their own weaknesses. Them, but as much as we praise people for the good things that they do, or we castigate them for the poor bad judgments the way they be make we also need to praise them when they do good things. I need you on Frundi. If you want for scale, if you want for put on a scale the advantages and the disadvantages, them, the advantages they all outweigh your disadvantages by far. So you will talk about person where it do something where I like him 80% of the time, and it do something the way I know like him 20% of the time. It prevent civil war for Cameroon because we understand the toll which way it go cost him, and it pay a huge price for that because even your own followers them they be begging and begging. Anglophones they don't always want this thing. They don't always want for carry guns for challenge Cameroon government. They have always wanted it. They be the itch up, they be the scratch. Say they want.
Some of you talking war. You don't even know how to shoot a gun.
Una here no? Una here. Nature of food they talking about crowd. This one in the early 90s. Say una the talk, say una one carry gun, una one fight war. Una no fit even operate the guns them. Una hear what the population talk. Una na me talk. They say what Papa we go learn them. And now why that way by 2014, Anglophones they were in the bushes training how to challenge the Cameroon government. Now with the Anglophones they don't scratch that itch. Say they want for challenge Cameroon government with the Chakavum Kradai guns them. They carry the guns and it backfire. Now this is what will never happen again. Anglophones that no go ever attempt to do this again. This is it. We don't carry the guns and it don't backfire. No single Anglophone in the future for the rest of history it will ever carry guns again against the Cameroon state. It no go ever happen. This was a good thing in the sense it was bound to happen because the people the way they will be amongst the radical ones the way they will talk say we have to carry guns. The other ones they don't foresee the destruction where it come. Even me, I swear to God, I not forever believe them if you be tell me say Anglophones they go carry that gun them and then they go turn them against themselves. I would never have believed it. But guess what? It don't happen. It happened right in front of us. We are seeing it on a day-to-day basis. The Bui massacre, the Guzang massacre, the Madame Ayafo Florence them, the deputy mayors where they don't kill them. One are the one for Bamenda, two the ones for Ngokatunja, the ones for Bui. Now all Anglophones killing Anglophones. The school picking where they kill them. Destruction of roads, hospitals them, destroying Anglophone economic activity. All of these things them, the pain where Amba terrorists don't bring them. 99% of their action, it don't target the Anglophones. So now where we don't finally scratch that itch, where be the itch Anglophones them say they want carry guns. We don't carry them no. We don't fail no. It don't backfire for we no. That is it. Now why that way when they hear someone they talk today now about cessation of hostilities, they are begging for negotiations, they are begging for dialogue because they understand say they don't miscalculate and they don't misfire. Sooner or later we go wipe all the shit no wipe that's what they did for Bush. Because those terrorists where they did for Bush now they are only leverage where they get them. Because their calculation and said they hold the Anglophone civilian population hostage and they expect somebody President Pobia can't pay the ransom. But imagine if you go kill the person who hold your person hostage, then would you have any reason to dialogue or negotiate with the hostage takers then? No. So now the other ones that they make noise on Facebook, then Gong Emmanuel, Capo Daniel them, Asu Lucas, Ayabacho them, Chris Anu them, if they don't go for prison abroad, they could just remain noisemakers of Facebook, and that is the end of them. They no go ever step one toe inside Cameroon again. And that is the worst thing where they fear more than anything else.
Or they call for protest, 10 people go.
When it comes to making audios, you people make 200 audios on WhatsApp. We don't see, you don't make no protest, you don't do no contributions. All you know is to call, oh, every tattoo up, every tattoo down. I don't have time for those things. Because we have said that this independence is our life. If we don't have it, we're dead.
That is the worst thing with the fear, and that's exactly what we could do for them. We could just continue for the grindy shit, no white blast, and kiki them all. I say kiki them, kumkumize them all. And then the noise maker for Facebook, they will remain for Facebook, they make noise. No person need to go dialogue or negotiate with una shit, no white blast them. Whether now for Canada, Switzerland, nowhere. Una go prison for that abroad, or una go just remain as noise makers. That is it. Una don't scratch that itch, no. Now the result that
Oh Lord, Ambazonians there. They think the dull is sheep.
Very dull set of human being there. But that terrorist gang. Chai! Must I do that in the sweet man? The pressure.
On the 28th of March 1997, I left Ntarinkon and I walked up it was close to the Ntarinkon market. I went to the house of my brother, an extended cousin. I wanted to know if he had a 2-round gun. He said he had one, but it was not with him. And he provided me with a knife. It's almost this kind of Hausa knife. I came back to where we had secured as our temporary headquarters. I handed that knife to the chairman of the War Council for him to lead an assault on Bafut Gendarmerie Station. That night was the longest night in my life. Then we had no cell phones, there was no communication. We contacted each other by sending someone to go meet you and communicate where you are, meet the next person. He took that knife. He said, I'm leaving, I may not come back, and I wish him good luck. At about 1 a.m., I received information that I have to leave Ntarinkon because the enemy forces were moving in. I moved from Ntarinkon at that night towards Mbengwi Park. And I came back to the same location because that's the only place that the death chair could find me. I took the risk back at about 5 to come back to make sure if he comes back, he will find me. I had slept for about 2 hours. And I opened the door of the small room and I sat on the bed and I fell asleep. About 3 hours later, in my deep sleep, I heard the door open. I raised my head. The death chair walked in, very dirty, with his back. And the first thing he said to me, he said, boy, I nearly died. And he said, we lost Ngwa, and that the chief of staff was wounded. The chief of staff had a bullet through his right arm, through his stomach, and he was carried through Mbengwi down into Bamenda, down into church, into Cow Street. And he took me to go and see the chief of staff. We entered a small room where he was bleeding. I had a leather jacket, I removed it, I gave it to him because he was cold. And the chief of staff said, we must continue to attack these people. The chief of staff then is the father of the commander of Alabokam, General Rambo. The son has taken over. Almost 7 years ago, when everybody thought it was impossible. But remember, if we had rifles then, the death chair would have taken over Bafut. We would have moved into Womb and come back through Bamenda to secure that town. We did not have the support.